Hello, sir. Welcome to the castle of the Ojab Kingdom. I will show you the way to the king's throne room. You will be heavily watched as you present your problem to him. To make sure you don't do anything to harm him, if you do, you'll either be banished or executed, depending on how bad your attack is. Understood?
Yes, I understand, sir.
Very good. Now follow me. Okay, here we are.
Hello, dear citizen. Please provide the issue in detail so I can fully understand it.
Yes, Your Highness, I am so terribly sorry to waste such a big part of your very busy day for something that might sound a little crazy and out of there. So my issue is about Professor Brennan. You know, the professor from the University of Hero City that died a few weeks ago. Yeah, I have a feeling that he may not actually be dead, and his intentions are way different than we initially thought. He sounded like he was trying to be a genuine guy, but I don't think he's that genuine. Sounded like he was trying way too hard, and that something is beneath the surface. Always notice how his eyes turned red whenever he got angry. That's not normal for anybody. And he's always been talking about this thing called a blood sun. And, it sounded crazy. He sounded like he needed some serious mental help. But I don't think he was going crazy at all. I think he was telling the truth about some of it. But it sounded like he had much worse intentions than we initially thought. And that the video captured by him before he was killed by that entity may have been fake, or at the very least not entirely accurate to what actually happened. I don't think Professor Brennan died. I think he's alive, and he's the Blood Sun one that we've been hearing so much about that has only appeared in the past recent days. I know I'm probably just looking into it too much, but there's just so much evidence that I've been able to find that we can't just ignore. He's probably still alive, and he's just waiting for the right moment to strike. Waiting for a moment where Bakaj or some other evil dude who's trying to take over the world would be able to take advantage of and allow him to return more powerful than before.
I am so sorry, sir. I am well aware that the professor's intentions may have been different than we originally thought, but nobody can just come back from the dead like that, even with all the crazy stuff that goes on in this kingdom. All of the crazy stuff we as a species thought was impossible that happened technically obeyed the laws of physics as we know them. It just seemed unlikely, but coming back alive after death goes beyond anything we know as a race. It's just not possible, and if someone did possess that kind of power, there wouldn't be much we could do to stop it, since, as we know it, it's impossible. And about the Bakaj thing, we have that completely under control right now. He may be more powerful than your average human alone, but he's by no means powerful enough to take us on as a species. All he can really do is manipulate electricity at will, not much else, so we can handle him for now, as long as he doesn't get that Blood Sun wand, which we have someone guarding it who could easily beat Bakaj in a fight, so I can assure you, there's nothing to worry about in those regards, but we'll be on the lookout in case the professor is alive, or Bakaj gets the Blood Sun wand. Now have a nice day, sir, unless there's anything else you want to ask.
Actually, Your Highness, there is something else I'd like to ask. A couple things. One, Bakaj's brother Jacob. He doesn't seem to be as bad as Bakaj, but he doesn't look like he'd be good based on appearance. What are your actual opinions on him?
My opinions on Bakaj's brother? Well, first off, his name is Jacob, and about my opinions, he seems like a genuine guy based on how he talks and the wording he uses. I know his appearance may seem a bit dark and creepy, but you have to remember that his and Bakaj's parents died in an explosion, and they are very lucky to be alive. Jacob's darker look probably is how he's dealing with the trauma caused by the explosion, not the intent to scare people. Judging people by how they look isn't really that good. Remember back in the 1800s, people thought black people were evil because they looked different, but they aren't much different than us, except their skin is different. The same goes for Jacob. We shouldn't be looking for bad intentions by how he looks, but rather how he acts.
Alright, thank you for giving your honest opinions on him, Your Highness. Now for the second question I have. What would you do, hypothetically, if Professor Brennan was alive, and he did come back from the dead? What would you do in that situation?
I honestly have no clue what I would do if he did come back from the dead, since as we know it, it's impossible. If he does somehow have enough power to raise himself from the dead, then he'd have enough power to destroy the world if he wanted to. If he did come back from the dead, we'd probably be screwed no matter what we do, so I guess tell the kingdom to prepare for death, and to say their final goodbyes, because there would be no hope for us.
Okay, thank you, Your Highness. That is all the questions I have. Please be on the lookout in case if he does return. And have a nice day, sir.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day yourself, good citizen. Now you must be off, but hopefully we won't have to deal with Professor Brennan or Bakaj again.